what's the best way to get rid of fire ants? After it rains, you see the mounds everywhere, and I'm sure they talk about all this rain that we've gotten, you know, back in February. Mr. D, did they come up with you from Mobile, right? Did you bring them up here from Mobile?
They were here when I got here.
Oh, they were here when you got here, okay.
Get away from them.
Yeah, they weren't all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
But the first year I moved to Memphis in 1995, I got called out to the zoo, the Memphis Zoo. They had bought some plants and they had fire ants. And I had no trouble identifying them because I'd lived with them for 7 years.
Right.
But, and then very quickly, they just started moving into the area.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try to answer the question.
All right.
And the best way to get rid of fire ants is the two-step method.
The Texas two-step.
Texas two-step.
Right.
And I noticed on our UT publication, we don't call it the Texas two-step. We just call it the two-step method. But it did start in Texas.
It did.
First with a dance, and then.
Fire ant dance. I've done that, haven't y'all?
But I do believe Texas A&M came out with this method of using a bait first. This is the first step. You go out and you broadcast a bait in your yard. And that's the most efficient way of killing fire ants. The workers will take the bait back to the queen, feed it to the queen, and or actually they'll feed it to one of the instar larvae. That it's the only form of fire ant that can digest, can eat solid food. Wow. Most, even the workers and the queen have to have liquid food, and they digest this food, and it goes into a pouch. And the pouch holds the liquid, and then they take the liquid and take it to the queen, and they feed out of that liquid of that. And so that's how that works, and it kills the queen. And the problem with that, the young workers will live another 9 weeks. So even after you've killed the queen and you have no new eggs being laid, you still have, a lot of fire ants you got to deal with. So comes to step 2. All right. And that's treat your mounds with a contact insecticide. Okay. And there are several baits out there, and there are several contact insecticides out there that you can use for those 2 steps. But do that, and that should kill the fire ants that you have in your yard.
So what's the best time to do the broadcast?
When you have fire ants.
I've heard several answers to that, in the spring before they start getting really active. But then that's to me is not true because they got to be foraging.
They got to be
foraging.
Right.
And the
so
bait,
when they become active,
And the bait has a life.
It does.
Because it's got a milk base.
It does. It gets rank.
If it gets rancid or something, it doesn't do as well.
You can smell and tell when it starts going bad after about a year.
If you've got bait that's 3 or 4 years old, you may
no
just
good.
Get some more.
Yeah.
Get some more. But once you've done that, when that queen goes off on her flight and she mates, and she starts looking around for a place to land to form a new colony, she's going to go where there are no fire ant mounds. So she's going to go out there in your yard that you just killed all the fire ants in, and she's going to burrow down, and she's going to start laying eggs, and you're going to have another mound there. So get you one of these little publications that talks about the 2-step method and keep it around, because this is going to be an ongoing problem.
Hope you enjoyed the video. We would love to get more questions from you. So be sure to leave us some comments.